Okay. Right, would you like to take a seat? Ellie, there's a dictionary on the shelf. Would you get it? In the open position, open. Thank you. Right, we've been working on Serenity for about a week now. And just wondered how you're getting on. You may not know that you've been working on it, but that's what you have been working on. What does it mean? What do you feel it means?
Do you mean the space?
Yeah.
Quietness that comes with the space.
Yeah. So what's the word mean for you?
Pardon? Space.
It means space.
It is. Yeah.
Unruffled.
Unruffled.
And calm.
Ellie, have a word with person.
It means quiet and open to receive and to give.
Calm. Well, I'll tell you what it really means. I've got two dictionaries. In English dictionary, it means free of storms, clear, fine, and it's related to weather. That's its main meaning. Its second meaning is a state of spiritual repose, and repose relates to posture. When you imagine somebody who is serene, you get an image very similar to the Buddha. Often that's the sort of image, and for me the main function of the Buddha image is in that sense to reflect a quality of being which is obvious both in body and mind. In the Buddhist dictionary, serenity is a synonym for samadhi. And samadhi means also a state of undistractedness, single-pointedness of mind, concentration. And there's this relationship between the quality of the body and the quality of mind is very important that you see this relationship. The quality of body that has space and stillness and the quality of mind are the same. It also, just out of interest, the origin of the word serene comes from the Greek xeros, which means to become dry. And there's an old Zen phrase related to old meditators, or meditators who have maturity, that they dry out. So the first thing you do is you learn the skills, and that usually takes you something between 3 and 10 years. But in that process, you begin to lose the agitated attributes of an unskillful person. As you relinquish those habits and those mannerisms, the body and mind dry out. Becoming dry like a twig is the parallel. It doesn't mean that you're dead. It means that you're carrying no agitation, that your movements, your thought processes have the same quality, that they have a gracefulness about them. And when you were talking about space, that's what it means to me. It means that, in practical terms, it means that one is aware, like your toes earlier, that that holding back, that sense of control, which gives an appearance of stillness, has been let go of. That's the green twig. The meditator, when we're young in the practice, we're trying to look like that state of stillness. And to get from that place of copying and using control as a mechanism, we have to at some point let go of the idea of control and trust the letting go, the simplicity of letting go into that space, rather than just pulling back from the space in order to own it or control it. Does this ring any bells at all? Comments?
Yes. Essentially becoming aware of doing just that, instead of being in the space, sitting slightly on the sideline.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a agitation still just there,
Yeah.
without actually just completely trusting it
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah. As meditators, we're using skills. We're not completely dry. If we were, we wouldn't be able to tell any difference between meditation and washing up. And so as we use these skills, we have to be mindful that when we start, we're very controlling. We're trying to get it right, or trying to get somewhere quite often, trying to get to a place of serenity. At some point you will recognise your efforts are pointless. You only create a copy. You only ever create a copy, and that time and time again, that sort of gets you maybe close, but it's never the real thing. And we develop a skill in the same way as maybe a shepherd develops a dog to help. Gradually, the dog realises that, or the shepherd realises with the dog, that chasing the sheep just scatters them. And you'll know this from meditation. The more you try to fix mind and create that single pointed space, the more all the simile, the sheep just run. So you have to allow that aspect which is seeking to shape mind, direct mind, to have that quality of stillness and ease that is gentle, that sees the aberrant thought and is kind, but at the same time gently brings the attention back. We're very aware quite often of the thinking processes that scatter, but seldom are we aware of the tendency of that controlling process that's trying to grab at those thoughts and fix mind, or put mind in a place, and mind will not be put. There has to be a sense of mindfulness on the controlling mechanism, the tendency to try to create stillness and to do peace. That doesn't really work, and so we have to, if you let the attention observe what it is that's seeking to control mind, then you can see that quite often that's quite gross and quite often in a panic or fearful. And so that's the sort of, there are two aspects to what I want to work on this weekend. One is related to letting the space develop itself, letting that stillness develop itself, but also an awareness of the way that mind, the desire to be still, forces or tries to control, and whether we can in some way bring that up to date as a skill. Yeah? So, I'd just like you to carry on for a little while with the basic exercises. Quite often when I'm doing the basic exercises, I'm facing in the direction of the Buddha, and it gives me a sense of what would the Buddha feel like? What does the Buddha feel like as these movements are taking place? What's that? How does the Buddha do these exercises? How does that quality that I perceive in that statue, or that internal image of the Buddha, whatever it is, how is that quality within the exercise? And when isn't it there? When does it feel tight and awkward and you feel your toes? I would not imagine the Buddha would be going, Something is happening there that is separating from the function of that exercise. And it's better, in that sense, to feel as it begins to pull away, to drop. So that what one is doing as one's going back is not trying to get back, but rather being mindful of the process as one's going back, of opening in the places and letting be, letting go where that tightness is trying to happen. Much of our difficulty in terms of meditation, when you get past that stage of learning these skills, is that we're constantly trying to control it. And we have to let go and control. We have to replace control with mindfulness. And seeing that space as itself, and letting be really means letting be, not getting rid of. Yep. Let's have a go at that. Carry on with the basics for a little while.